Society's colorblindness is not an excuse for racism. How can we claim to be colorblind when a vast majority of people are still judged by the color of their skin? In a world that longs for equality, why are people still punished for having diverse cultural backgrounds and belonging to different ethnic groups? Despite the social equality that we claim to possess, people who are considered unique continuously face discrimination to a point where the silence becomes loud enough to strip away their own freedom. We know how racism manifests itself in various forms, from discrimination based on skin color to cultural backgrounds and even towards a person's own name. Yet, do we really know why racism continues to thrive, even if the world has made multiple attempts to end it? Social injustice has been deeply woven in our timeline, notably in schools, workplaces, and everyday life. Some say that racism has become less prevalent compared to our past, claiming that the government has made great efforts to reduce the impact of racism by bringing laws and civil rights movements that go against the issue. Others believe that people tend to be sensitive, saying that racism is overly exaggerated when brought up in the media. However, if this were true, then why do countless individuals still suffer beneath the weight that this prejudice brings? This occurs due to the media we consume, the social hierarchies, and the influence that others bring to us that changes our view entirely on how we see the world. Even so, why are we allowing others to speak our minds instead of ourselves? Society has allowed this problem to evolve to a point where self entitlement grants individuals the ability to hold more power over others, especially those who differ from the stereotypes portrayed in this world. Because of this, people who engage in racism resort to threatening and mistreating others, regardless of the location nor circumstance. For instance, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, in the United States, about 1 in 3 high school students have reported experiencing racism in school. The most affected ethnic groups were Asians at 56.9%, followed by multiracial, then black students. White students, in contrast, ranked lowest amongst these groups, having only 17.3% experiencing the problem. If schools, the building blocks in our lives, are constantly inflicted with racism, then how are we supposed to build a foundation towards a brighter, positive future? Oftentimes, racism drastically impacts both a person's mental health and physical health, leading to violence, anxiety, PTSD, and depression. In worse scenarios, these racial biases may drive a person to self harm or possibly even commit suicide. In the Philippines, bullying and harassment towards individuals of all ages have been widely documented, leaving them with emotional scars that continue to distort their sense of identity. If a person is unable to look in the mirror without wishing to change their own identity to escape oppression, then how are we supposed to hope that racism fades in an instant? These statistics and evidence don't just serve as information to look at. They represent the people whose true potentials are diminished, not because of being incapable, but instead because of the burdens that hold them back. This proves how ethnic groups tend to be targeted compared to others, disregarding the neutrality and equality that we long for. Ultimately, this shows how society is far from being colorblind. With all of this said, it is obvious that racism has dominated the world in countless ways, adding too much insult to the injury. From the media's damaged view on racism to the burdens that individuals fight daily, racism continues to define society. However, we can stop this by learning how to value the beautiful spectrums of this world. As individuals, we have the freedom to speak freely and act how we want to act. Racism can only be conquered when society learns to embrace and celebrate each other, regardless of our differences. Racism starts with us and it will end with us. I rest my case.